All right, let's talk about something we all know and, well, maybe love a little too much: retargeting. It's that thing in digital marketing that always seems to deliver these amazing, incredible looking results. But what if I told you that a huge chunk of that success is kind of just a mirage?
Come on, you've seen a report that looks just like this. Maybe you even made it. The one that makes you feel like a marketing god. A 15 by ROS, 500% conversions, the boss is ecstatic, the client loves you. I mean, these are the numbers we all chase, right?
But, and here's the kicker, what if those numbers are kind of lying? What if that amazing report isn't really telling the whole truth? Like, what if the success we're all high-fiving about isn't, real? Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to dig into today. So let's pull back the curtain on what's really going on here, what I like to call the performance illusion. We're going to see how some campaigns can look absolutely fantastic on paper, but in reality, they're doing next to nothing for the business. And the crazy part? The main culprit here is usually hiding in plain sight. It's one of the most common tactics out there: retargeting people who have already bought from you. I know, it sounds like a no-brainer, a totally safe bet, but that's exactly where this whole illusion gets started. So, if we can't trust those shiny numbers, how do we actually see what's real? Well, we need a different tool, a better way to measure things. And that brings us to this really important idea: the incrementality test. You can think of it like a lie detector for your marketing. The core idea here is actually pretty simple. Incremental lift isn't about counting every single conversion. Nope. It's about counting only the conversions that happened because someone saw your ad, the ones that wouldn't have happened otherwise. It's all about finding out if your ad actually caused the sale or if it just showed up to the party after the decision was already made. Okay, to make this super clear, let's use an analogy. It's a simple one: your weekly grocery run. So picture this: you're making your grocery list and you're gonna buy your favorite coffee. You always do. It's on the list. Then, on your way to the supermarket, you see an ad for that exact same coffee. And what happens? You go into the store and you buy the coffee, just like you were planning to do all along. Now the ad platform is going to say, hey, we got you a sale. But did it really? No way. The ad didn't cause that sale. It just took credit for something that was going to happen anyway. And that coffee example? That's exactly how retargeting past customers works so much of the time. It just swoops in, takes advantage of loyalty that's already there, and makes itself look way more effective than it is. So let's really break down how this whole illusion gets built. A big part of the problem is that we get obsessed with the wrong things. Over on the left, you've got your vanity metrics, things like ROAS, click-through rate. Yeah, they look great in a presentation, they make you feel good. But do they actually grow the business? Not necessarily. Now look at the right. That's a growth metric, incremental lift. That's the one that tells you if you're actually making a difference. So this whole thing creates three big problems. First, it totally inflates your attribution numbers, right? It's just stealing credit. Second, because of that, it creates this dangerous illusion that your campaigns are crushing it when they might not be. And third, and this one is huge, it sucks up your budget, pulling money away from what you should be doing, finding brand new customers and actually creating new demand. Okay, so I'm not saying you should just scrap retargeting altogether. Not at all. The point is, we have to be way, way smarter about it. It's got to be about precision, not just grabbing the low-hanging, already gonna happen fruit. So here are a couple of great examples of when retargeting is actually the perfect tool. Let's say your goal is to win back someone who was this close to buying. Targeting people who abandon their shopping cart? Absolutely, that's a perfect use case. You're giving a little nudge to someone with super high intent. Or what about driving loyalty? Instead of showing past buyers an ad for the thing they just bought, which is kind of pointless, show them new products. Give them a reason to make a new purchase. See the difference? It's about using it strategically to create new value, not just take credit for old decisions. All right, so we've gone through the problem, the illusion, and some smarter ways to think about it. But this all boils down to one single core idea. If we strip away all the vanity, all the noise, what is the one metric we should really be focused on? The great philosopher Ice Cube once said, check yourself before you wreck yourself. And for us marketers, that means we have got to check our metrics. We have to be brutally honest with ourselves about what's actually driving growth and what's just, well, fluff. Look, it really is this simple. We have to stop optimizing for numbers that just make us feel good and start optimizing for things that actually hit the bottom line.
Because a campaign that looks amazing on a PowerPoint slide but doesn't bring in real, new revenue isn't growing the business. It's just moving credit around.
So if you remember just one thing from all of this, please let it be this. The only metric that truly matters for understanding your real impact, for actually growing the business, is incremental lift. That's it. That's the real scoreboard.
And so I'll leave you with a question to take back to your own team, to your own campaigns. Seriously think about this. If your marketing isn't creating new demand, if it's not getting new people to buy or changing their minds, then what's the point? What is it actually doing? Something to think about. Thanks so much for tuning in.